Well, Phil, I have the flannel again.
Welcome back, Flannel.
And I have much less hair.
Heidi ho, Flanderino.
Heidi ho, Flanderino. Oh, you're like the Al Borland to my Tim Taylor. I'm wearing the flannel.
I'm more like the Wilson.
Yeah, you're the Wilson. Yeah, hide your face.
I should.
Maybe we get more viewers.
My mom always said I had a face for radio.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Welcome to Whiskey Bits,
With Matt and Phil,
where we talk all things whiskey.
and all things comedy.
So I'm pretty excited about this one too.
Yeah, what is it?
Okay, let me tell you a story.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so stopped in at the local establishment here,
Garfield's Crystal Lake,
Garfield's in
Illinois.
Crystal Lake, Illinois. Not related at all to the cat.
Right. Yeah. Very confusing because it's the same name.
It's very much the same name. So I had a really good conversation with the gentleman behind the bar that pours the samples, pours the drinks back there. Also picks their whiskey for
Really?
the barrel picks.
He's one of the guys that does it?
He is the guy.
Really?
He is the guy that picks it.
Oh.
And so I asked him the question because there's a few Garfield's locations throughout northern Illinois.
Okay.
I said, do you pick for all Garfields? And he goes, let me just say it this way. I'm going to let you in on a secret, which I'm about to expose to everybody.
Yeah, the whole world.
Everybody that listens to this, at least. He says, I do. They will get a lot of the stuff that I pick, but they won't get everything.
Interesting.
That I pick.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
It's just, it's like, I like that. Like,
I think
I don't care.
I think it just means he's picking for his customers. He knows everybody that comes in.
Yeah.
And remember, he's got a fantastic memory.
He knows me. He knows
Turns out he doesn't drink, which is probably why he has a fantastic memory.
Probably.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Not really sure.
I don't remember.
Yeah. You know, I told you the time that I took a winemaking class.
Wine making?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And then I forgot how to drive.
Did you really?
Simpsons.
Oh, I like that show.
That's a good show.
It is a good show.
It is the...
It's one of those like, I don't know what to watch. You know what? I'm going to go back and watch The Simpsons.
I want to watch The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Okay, back to this.
Okay.
So he said, this is fantastic. You have to try it.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
You have to try it.
Have to.
So this is from the Bull Run Distilling Company.
Okay.
Portland, Oregon.
Something good did come out of Portland. Okay.
Yep, Portland, Oregon, not Portland, Maine.
Right. I didn't even know there was a Portland, Maine.
No? Okay.
Portlandia, that's the Oregon one.
Great question. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I've never watched it, but I would imagine that it's
I would think so.
Oregon. But yeah, there's a Portland, Maine. Yeah. So
Also a Portland, Guam.
is there really?
No, I have no idea.
Huh. Okay. So this is an American whiskey finished in sherry barrels.
Ooh.
All right. This one aged 16 years and then spends 14 months finishing in those sherry barrels. So we have...
So is the 16 included? Is the 14 included in the 16 years? Or
yeah,
is it...
typically, yeah. So this would be, just under 15 years that it sits in the barrel as a whiskey, a whiskey barrel. So technically this one is a bourbon, but because it gets finished in that sherry barrel,
They're like, meh.
they decided we're just not going to call it a bourbon because it's going to confuse people, or people are going to throw a tantrum and they're going to not drink it because it's not a bourbon.
I'm not going to drink
whatever.
It's not exactly a bourbon the way it's supposed to be.
Right. And then they drink Jack Daniels.
And they're like, nah. Yeah. They drink something.
So, so I tried this one recently just before I purchased it.
Love it.
And I did really like it, which is why I purchased it.
That's why you brought it here today.
That's why I brought it here today. Now, as with any fresh crack of a bottle, you're going to get
Fresh crack. I know a lot of plumbers that got some fresh crack. Actually, my daughter pulled up. She was looking through photos the other day, and she's like, "Dad, look at this picture." It's just a picture of my butt crack. I was probably fixing something for the whole family, trying to be a good dad, fixing the dishwasher or something, and somebody snapped a picture of my butt crack.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. No respect.
No
I don't want to get into the.
No respect.
I don't want to be Rodney Dangerfield, but that's legit.
Yeah.
Continue.
I agree. So a lot of times when you open a new bottle, you often get that neck pour and some of the heavy ethanol and stuff. But
not getting that.
No, I think when I first poured this, just before we went on the air,
we went live,
if you will.
We're live to ourselves.
We're always live. There was a lot of alcohol in it, but a lot of ethanol.
I'm just not getting. It's very. Way. Plum?
Yeah.
I don't want to say prune because it just sounds weird to say prune, but kind of.
I had a bit of a tickle.
You have a tickle in your throat, Phil.
A tickle.
A little bit of a tickle.
A little bit of a tickle. If you can see, there's a little tear. I've been trying to hold back this cough.
Man, you just cough, man. It's okay. People understand.
I know.
Cough is a normal reaction in the human body. Also gas. You have it? Just let it go. Just let it flow, man.
I have no problem with that.
I feel like prior episode, I was just holding back a burp the whole time, and it just kept... How many chins can I... I'm getting a lot of prune plum.
Yeah, I catch that too. I'm starting to catch that too.
It's like the deep kind of rich sweetness, chocolate. Maybe a little
chocolate.
You know what? Those chocolates that you get in the typical, Valentine's packs, and it's the cordial cherry chocolate. That's it.
Okay.
It's that cordial. It's whatever that sauce is that they put around the cherry.
Yeah.
That cordial.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's the cordial cherry chocolate.
I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
Dark, you picking it up?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Pick it up.
It's really good. Maybe it's the fact that we know this is from Portland, Oregon, but are you not getting a bit of like an ocean, like just an salty ocean smell?
I could convince myself probably that.
I close my eyes and I smell this, and all I can picture is the Pacific Northwest. I'm totally making that up.
I mean, it could be any of the Northwests. It could be the Pacific Northwest. It could be the Northwest. It could be the South Northwest.
Is there an Atlantic Northwest?
Absolutely not. That sounds... I don't think so.
Would the Atlantic Northwest be like Ireland?
Sure.
Scotland?
I'm good at geography. Dang it, man. I'm a comedian, not a geographer. Geographist.
Did you just refer to yourself in the third person while talking to me?
I don't even know what's happening anymore. All I know is this smells quite good. I think I'm sticking with that chocolate covered
cherry.
The cordial cherry chocolate in the chocolate pack that you get from Fannie Mae.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I can get that. I definitely can sense that. Should we stop smelling it and start drinking it? Yeah. Wow.
Whoa. I haven't had...
Smoky.
It hits different when you... in the drink.
Smoky.
The taste. Interesting. Yeah, smoky at the end. Mm-hmm. I got a richness, a deep richness when I first hit. Mm-hmm. But definitely, for sure, smoky on the end. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can taste it. The center of the tongue, like, I don't know if that's cherry wood, but like, it tastes like, honestly, the way I would compare it, this is going to sound weird because I was just talking about cordial chocolate cherries. Mm-hmm. The best Thanksgiving turkey I ever did was a deep fried turkey, but I put in a Cajun seasoning in it, injected it.
Okay.
done in like 30 minutes. I mean, it was amazing. But it's that dark kind of crisp, not burnt, but almost like that's what I'm tasting. I'm tasting like, I don't want to say deep fried because it sounds weird, but like
a deep fried cordial chocolate covered cherry.
Yeah.
I think
that's it.
I think it's fantastic.
That's what it is.
I think it's a fantastic description.
Deep fried.
Yeah.
Chocolate covered cordial Fannie Mae cherry.
Yeah.
I will never have one of those the same way. Sorry for this lip smacking, but I had to do it because it's in the center. I gotta do it again.
Yeah. I really enjoy it. And for a 16-year, to pull the yield off that he was able to get, so they were able to get a bunch of bottles off of this. Off of this barrel.
Right.
So, very excited about that. But
I wonder how many they got.
I mean, he's very excited about that.
I'm excited
I'm
for
not
him.
necessarily excited about it because I got my bottle that we're sharing now.
This might.
Really?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The Rip Van Winkle 10-year that I tried was the biggest pop of flavor that I've had, where it just is like, boom, it says something. This is the only one of all these that we've done so far that has given me that same experience. That first hit, the mouthfeel, without killing you with the ethanol and all that.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to think that there is something to be said about the fact that it's either the time it spent in the barrel, but I think it's maybe more so the sherry that is giving some of this.
Is that popping that flavor out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because if we're saying, hey, like, after 12 years, you don't really start to get much different. In fact, it might get less and less interesting. But now you're saying, hey, this sat for 14 years, 8 months.
Yeah.
No, 14 years, 10 months.
Yeah.
And then in oak barrels, and then it moved to sherry casks for 14 months. That sherry cask did something. It pulled something from that.
And it sat there for a while, so it sat there for a year.
Yeah.
Not all finished whiskeys like that are sit there for that long. So
and I'm wondering, like, what was that sherry?
Should we check the bottle?
Does it say? Because
we can check the bottle. And
I kind of want to try that sherry
alongside it. Would be that'd be kind of fun. It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
What is that first hit?
See, you said smoky on the back, and I caught smoky right away.
I mean, I'm kind of. I can see where you say beach, maybe at the first hit, for sure.
There's just something about it that there's just something there that I can't put my finger on it.
There's a little bit of burnt caramel. I think it's really good. Very versatile. It's almost like I kind of like pick out a different. They all meld well together, but like I can almost kind of like find different notes every time I try it.
I would normally, if you told me this had a really smoky flavor and those, I probably would have gone into it with a different feeling and maybe not have enjoyed it as much because I don't typically lean towards that.
Right.
But
it's not an offensive smoky flavor. It's like not. I said, it's like that fried. It's got it's the smoke, but it's infused with whatever was like the turkey. The reason that was so darn good is it had the injection and it was fried. And so it was like the fried melded with the juices and the injection and the flavor. So this is similar where it's like there's a lot going on within that. And I can only imagine it's from the sherry. It's from the amount of time. I don't know that I want to say maybe that 14 months in the sherry saved what could have been a bad or a batch of whiskey. And then, the sherry kind of brought it back to life.
Sure.
But maybe, like, I'd be curious to try this before it goes into the sherry and see what the difference is.
Yeah.
I wonder if they even make.
We'd have to check it out. We can go to bullrundistillery.com.
Let's do
and,
it. Let's go there
and find out if we can figure out what the sherry is that they if there was a particular.
This is a phone call.
It's more than a website visit.
As I'm editing this, I'm calling them right now. Call them. I just told myself to do.
Note to self.
Note to self. Call them back. Callbacks. Crowd work.
I was going to ask you a little bit about that.
About crowd work?
Yeah. Well, so I mean, we were talking about complexities of bourbon, and there's so much going on, and like it's a new experience every time. I just have a feeling that that's a little bit like what you deal with as a stand-up comedian.
With crowd work?
Well, just in general, like a different crowd is going to have a different energy and a different piece. And we hear comedians when we're watching them online or whatever doing crowd work, or they say like, "You guys are a good crowd."
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is a good crowd to a comedian?
So there's a few comics that come to mind that I think are amazing at crowd work. I think the top one, his name's Ian Bagg. I think it's B-A-G-G, I think.
Fact check that. Amazing.
Super good at it. Matt Rife is another one who I know he's whatever lately, but he's very good at crowd work. I've noticed his strategy for like social media is he posts all his crowd work stuff so that it's not spoiling his show. Great idea. Love that. But yeah, like there's this, so overall there's this idea that like sometimes comics go, oh, it was a bad crowd, or oh, the crowd wasn't getting my jokes tonight. It's like, no, like you can't blame the crowd. You need to take ownership for either your performance or whatever it was, because you're the one in control. You're the one on the stage. Like, to me, now being a clean comic, I feel that my stuff is more accessible for the general audience. So I really don't have an excuse if I'm going up there and I'm bombing to say, oh, the crowd was bad. It's like, no, like I didn't deliver it right, or I wasn't responding and listening to the audience. So for the crowd work, I've learned that like you can plan some of that, and then there's obviously improv. Now the improv stuff, you're either good at that or you're not. Like you either have experience doing it, or it comes natural to you, or like you just can't do it, or it's intimidating, or you just never try. I grew up, starting doing theater. I was in an improv troupe, Green Room Theater, which is an amazing, hilarious improv group out of Huntley. We're close to where we are. So I have some training with them, and then just some training just from being in shows, and actually like, gosh, I remember this one show, a buddy of mine was in it. It was Annie Get Your Gun, and I played Charlie Davenport, and there was a moment where one of the actors missed his cue. And so, like, I mean, the whole crowd, and you feel it when it's a live performance, you feel you can empathize with the audience, like, this sucks. Like, this is going really bad.
Yeah, the anxiety.
Right? There's lines that are supposed to be being delivered right now, and it's not happening because so-and-so can't get his vest on or whatever. And so an actor missed their cue, and I remember like improving in the moment, and it got a huge laugh, and like, oh man, that felt good. And then like, it was something that was similar to crowd work, where in a stand-up set, sometimes crowd work is a way to extend your set. Like, hey, I have 25 minutes. Oh, someone wants to hire me to do 30 minutes. Okay, I'll do 5 minutes of crowd work. Okay. To me, it's a little bit of a cop-out, but I get it. But also, it's a great way to connect to your audience. It's a great way to, especially at the beginning, I find like it's a great, like everyone's always trying to figure out a way to start their show. Instead of going up and be like, hey, Denver, or hey, Wisconsin, how you doing? Or hey, I'm so thankful to be here. Okay, everybody does that. But like, what if you can start being more personal with the audience, or if you know something about like the place you're at and something about the town or whatever.
Okay.
So anyways, I'm kind of touching on a lot of things, but to me, crowd work can be partially planned, where you can have predetermined responses to specific questions you might ask. Like, for example, a lot of people do, oh, what's the longest you've been married and blah, blah. So, like, I could do that, and it doesn't matter what people say, whether they've been married for 60 years or 20. I can have a response kind of based on that.
Sure.
And so that's kind of it's really like writing a joke, but what the audience thinks is they think it's improv. And so to them, it's like, oh, wow, this is it. What's cool about it is it's funny, but it's also like, wow, you get a good clap with crowd work because they think you're coming up with it off the top of your head, which if you do it right, it will seem that way.
Yeah.
You know, so
sure.
So I like parts of that. I like to challenge myself as well. And just, I think one show, it was several months ago, where I went out and I think I think I talked to you about it.
Was this the late night one at Zany's in Chicago?
It might have been.
Okay.
Where it just was like, I'm just going to go out and like, I'm not going to pre-plan anything. I'm just going to go out and like see what happens.
Yeah.
Just for the beginning part. And I don't remember if it went well. I honestly don't remember. But, you know, I like to challenge myself in that way because I think it helps with your ability to listen and respond. And yeah, crowd work is interesting. Crowd work is helpful with hecklers. If you get a heckler, like having pre-planned responses to specific things. But yeah,
how is dealing with a heckler and the improv rule of yes and obviously you don't want to necessarily keep going with this, but also there's a piece that like, well, let me play on this heckler a little bit to kind of bring the show back.
I mean, everybody gets heckled. Seinfeld, I remember seeing Madison and I went and saw Jerry Seinfeld at the Genesee Theater in Waukegan. And there was a guy that was obviously drunk and was heckling Seinfeld. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, how much did you pay for that ticket in the front row and you're heckling him? But like, he even had a response, you know, that was probably a canned response or at least a response he's used before, I'm sure. And, but like I think it's an opportunity to, it really is based on your personality. I'm the type of guy that's like, I feel like it's awkward sometimes when comics like bash the heckler. I mean, it's one thing if they're like being a total jerk and disrupting everyone's paid performance. And I've been there where I've seen that where like the whole show someone's heckling and it really was distracting and it wasn't the show I paid to see, you know? And so it was like, it would have been nice if somebody would have just said, hey, you need to stop or you're going to have to leave. Like, it gets to that point.
Yeah.
But there's a fine line between somebody who's heckling and they're being disruptive versus somebody who's responding and they're being playful. So there's that. But then there's also like, even with somebody who would potentially be disruptive, I still want to find the creative response that wouldn't necessarily like give them what they deserve, even though it would be justifiable, but would also like be funny without completely destroying their humanity.
Yeah.
Because I'm just that kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just that kind of guy. Like, I don't want to, like I said, it would be probably totally justified to be like, make fun of them or whatever. But I just think it's the same reason why I don't do dirty jokes. It's because I think there's another way that is actually going to be more funny and more creative that would also not keep the peace to like, you know, be like too timid, but like, I don't know. I don't know. There's something about that. I see it as an opportunity to like come up with something. And I tend to respond really well in those situations. Like, it's not a people pleasing, but it's more of like a peacemaker kind of thing where if somebody's heckling, like I feel like I can like bring them back in.
Sure.
And I think that ends up being some of the more memorable, funny moments.
I like that. If you had one thing to say that people should do at a comedy show, and one thing that people should never do at a comedy show, what would you suggest people are not doing?
I mean,
heckling aside.
Yeah, heckling 9 times out of 10 it's just someone who's drunk and they're just talking loud.
Yeah.
Should do it at a comedy show. I think, just chill out, like relax, enjoy, like just come prepared to laugh. Obviously treat your waitstaff great, but just come prepared to laugh and like put your. I think we're seeing so much nowadays with comics that like this whole cancel culture garbage, and it's just like, look, the whole reason stand-up comedy exists is because the king hired a jester to tell him the truth in a way that would be digestible, to where he wouldn't kill that person for telling him the truth. And so it's ever since the beginning, it's always been about truth telling, but in a digestible way where we can go, hey, okay, yeah, like, but we're not going to crucify the comedian for saying something. And so I think there's still, being a Christian, I think there's still lines I won't cross. But that's more based on like stuff that I'm like, I just don't know that this is something I'm going to joke about. I'm sure somebody could unfortunately make a laugh out of any topic. But yeah, I think just coming with like, put your political stuff aside, put your, sensitivities aside, and just come to be it's a time for you to, get some medicine, which is the laughter.
Yeah. I've heard it said that laughter is the best medicine.
I've heard that someone
tried to deliver that in the driest way possible.
No, and like, yeah, like
very between the ferns.
Between two ferns. Somebody compared our show to that.
Really?
Yeah, I was like so honored, but also offended.
I'm not offended at all. Like, I'm totally honored by that.
Oh, it was good.
All right, so come prepared to laugh.
Come prepared to laugh, and just don't be a distracting douchebag.
Okay, look, that's
pretty simple.
I think the most annoying thing as an audience member at comedy shows, and I've certainly been at a few where you've been an act, and that's, I think certainly other comics have been involved in this as well, that the people in the audience are not as funny as they think they are.
Yeah.
And so when they say it, they kind of pipe up and like maybe finish a joke or kind of try to add to a joke. It's okay, well, I was going to get there, but thanks for taking this. So, like, don't be a distracting douchebag, I think is a pretty solid...
I think that's in the book about how to go to a comedy show. That's number one.
It should be on the ticket when you get in.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think on the other side of that, it to foster that environment as the comic, don't turn on the crowd either too much. You have to be very careful, because I think one of the biggest mistakes people make with hecklers is a lot of times it's actually not a heckler. It's just somebody who is either responding to something you physically asked, or they're enjoying the show and they're saying something, for whatever reason. And it's not always because they're drunk. It's because there's that kind of comfortability. And so where comics can get into, they can dig a hole is when they actually crucify like somebody who's just enjoying themselves.
Just having fun.
Yeah. And so it's having the wisdom to know what that is. And that's why I think for me, if I go into it having more of a lighthearted expectation even towards a heckler, I'm going to set myself up for success to where I'm not going to snap at somebody who's just saying something.
Yeah.
I almost welcome it, because I'm like, I'll play off of that. I like that.
Yeah.
You know.
And this will be maybe more enjoyable for everybody, but don't heckle.
Don't heckle, but like, I'm okay.
Come and have fun.
But come and have fun.
Come and have fun.
And drink this.
Drink this. I have been wanting to say for at least the last 2 or 3 minutes, do you not get like a smoked maple bacon?
Yeah. Yes.
Getting a lot of maple.
Yeah.
And like, there's that saltiness that I was talking about. It's bacon.
Salty.
Not the Pacific Northwest.
No, you're right. I didn't get ocean, but I can get bacon.
Okay.
I mean, I want bacon. Dang it, now I want bacon. I'm going to have to go upstairs.
But I can get bacon was maybe the most Midwestern flannel-wearing, bald-headed, bearded man thing you could say while drinking whiskey.
So bald. Everybody tells me they like it. I don't know.
I think it looks fantastic.
I don't know. Is this my look from now on?
It's your look for now.
The hairless man?
It's your look for now. We'll figure it out if it...
What does that mean?
I don't know why I'm not sure why I just like said like this is our journey.
This is our journey together.
No.
For now, Matt.
We'll see how this goes, Matt.
You know what I look like? I look like those Whopper candies you have.
Do you remember why
bald,
I brought
round head?
Do you remember the inside of the Whopper though?
Well, yeah, I'm obviously white. Clearly, you can see the reflection of the lights on my head. I do kind of feel a little empowered with a bald head. I'm not gonna lie. Like maybe I'll go make some meth, or maybe I'll go start a biker gang.
Okay.
Sort of like White.
Is it the reverse Samson? Where you have more power with less hair now?
Definitely.
Okay.
Shave your head, grow a goatee. I'm one step away from being Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think you're a little bit more than one step.
Maybe like 2.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of steps.
Maybe a few steps.
Maybe you need to, maybe have any experience at all with meth, and then you'd be close.
Yeah, maybe. Or just that desire.
No, I don't. Well, tell you what I do have a desire for is more of this.
This was enjoyable. And good conversation, too.
Thanks, Phil.
That was a lot of fun.
Did I say anything that was good?
You did.
Okay. Good.
Cheers.
Cheers. Next time on Whiskey Bits.
It does. It's kind of like an old book. Like an old leather.
I can see.
Like lots of leather-bound books.
I have many leather-bound books. Anchorman reference. Will Ferrell please come on the podcast? Well, hey, if that Hot Ones guy can get Paul Rudd to come on his podcast, like, come on, Paul.
Are we talking about other podcasts on our podcast?
Yeah, shout out. He went to Central High School,
really?
right across the street from this.
I had no idea.
Yeah. How did he get all those people? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Hot Ones.
I've not seen it.
It's another show.
Well, I'm gonna check it out.
You check it out. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Whiskey Bits. Please like, share, and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts.